Hi everyone, my name is Mila Reutte. I'm a mom to a boy with autism, and this is my first video. I'm starting a journey, hopefully with all of you who are in the early stages of research, like I was a couple years ago when I started really going in a deep research of what autism is and is not, and hopefully it can help clear up some common doubts we mothers have, especially first-time moms, that we don't really know sometimes what's normal, what's not, or what's, how things should be going versus how they are going. And I know that happened to me. Our son is now about 10 years old, and he's had a diagnosis since it was about a year ago that he got his autism diagnosis. And the last 3 years, more or less, have been quite hard on our family. We got to a point where he was having a really hard time at school. He didn't want to go to school anymore. He was coming home and having these meltdowns, and this was around the time he was 7.5. And we really didn't know what it was, so we began consulting some professionals. And looking back now, where we know a lot about autism, I wish someone would have helped us piece the puzzle together, because there were a lot of signs, so we were just not putting them all together in one place. So if I could go back and show you all these signs, maybe some of them you can identify, and also help you piece your puzzle together, because obviously no two kids with autism are the same, and that's something also we all tend to have an image in our head of what autism is and looks like, and that wasn't the image that coincided with my son. And so everyone, us parents, the kindergarten teachers, they didn't really see it, and I guess they only saw a part of him that was adjusting to kindergarten, and the only people that had the full picture was us parents, because we could see the full picture. Sometimes high functioning, and I say this with a lot of caution because I don't like the term high functioning autism, but sometimes they develop a lot of strategies to cope with everyday life, and some of those strategies can be imitating what their peers do, and so they go under the radar because they really have found out that what is expected of them is to do like everyone else is doing, and so they do it, not because it makes sense, but because they are imitating or they are masking. But then when they get home, they're really exhausted, right? So they have used up all the energy and have really nothing left. And that was what happened when he turned about 7 years old. Suddenly the coping mechanisms that he had developed all throughout his early childhood weren't working anymore. The social relationships became more complex, and suddenly he couldn't keep going the way he had been going up until that point. And he started to have meltdowns, also misunderstandings in school with his peers, but also he would come home every day and have a massive meltdown. Sometimes it could be triggered by if I gave him the wrong cup with his milk in it, or if I forgot to charge his iPad, or if we asked him a question about school. So that would trigger a huge meltdown. So we knew something was off, and we couldn't understand what it was. So all of this coincided a little bit with the pandemic, which didn't make things easier, because suddenly all of the routines that were in place had to stop, and the everyday life became something completely new. And also being at home, I really could begin to put together some of the issues that I wasn't seeing, because he was so many hours in school and I was working full time, and life goes on and on. But suddenly we were at home and I was alone with them in the house, and it really hit me that there was something, the conflicts he was having with his sister and the understanding of the situations, there was something. I have my dog here who wants some love. Anyway,